welcome to the Dogwood Knits podcast. My name is Vicky. Thank you for joining me. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. If you're new, welcome. You can find me on Instagram as dogwood.knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Dogwood Knit. Hi, welcome again. It's been probably a little while since I've put up a podcast. Things have been a little bit crazy around here, and yeah, but anyway, whatever, I'm here. And I've got a bit to show you. I've actually already recorded this whole entire thing. This is the second time around. My husband called 6 minutes into my last recording, and I didn't realize that my phone stopped recording when he called. So I talked for like 30 minutes to a camera that wasn't on. So that's super cool. And he's probably still laughing about it because I called him afterwards. But anyway, I'm here. Hopefully this records. If it doesn't go this time around, folks, I'm going to have to do it another day. Now the lighting, I'm hoping is going to be okay. It was nice and gloomy when I started and did my first one. We have a whole wall of windows here, so sometimes when the sun comes out, it gets a little bit washed out. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. I like to tell people that because they ask. Yeah, this is where I'm from. We've been gone like the past 8 years, but we're back now and hopefully we're here to stay. I love it here. So anywho, yeah, finished object, I have one, which is fine because I think the last time I podcast, I had like 3 or 4 or something like that, which is like unheard of for me. So, or maybe it was the time before, I can't remember. But this one I've shown you before a couple times, I think, but it's done. I finished it at knit night the other night at a local shop here called The Curious Crafter. They're fairly new. I guess it's been a year. So I think she's about to have her year anniversary, which is really exciting. It's a great shop. The people are amazing. Anyway, if you're ever in St. Louis, I would highly suggest you go. And her selection's great too. But this is the Vertices Unite Shawl by Stephen West. Again, I've shown it to you before. I'm going to show you little by little because it's so big. I did do the large version. So here it kind of all goes. You can see where the name comes from. It's all these little sections that meet up beautifully with each other. I'll go over the yarn and stuff. I have decided that a I-cord bind off on a shawl is probably one of my favorite things. Not to do, because this probably took me 3 days just to bind off. I was joking it and I'm like, I swear the bind off's taking me as long as this shawl, which is not true. It's a bit of an exaggeration. But it does take forever, but the outcome is unbelievable. So really happy with that. The yarns I used are all MadelineTosh. This was all yarn from my stash, which is amazing because I'm not really good at that. I tend to just not use yarn from my stash, which is so silly. And I'll show you too, I have another project that I'm planning from my stash. So that always feels really nice. I'm also destashing a bunch on Instagram right now, which also feels fantastic. And I'll talk about that later. But so most of it's done in a single ply. The only color that is not is this here, this beautiful goldeny mustard, not mustardy, more goldeny chestnutty maybe. This is called Carbon Dating is the colorway, and that's done in a Euro sock. So it's a sock base, nylon merino, superwash. The rest of it is all done in a single ply. I think it's the Tosh Merino Light. I'll go through the colors here. The dark color you're seeing here, which is actually more of a navy. I don't know if it's coming off black or navy to you. That is called El Greco. The white is called Paper. So it's a very like creamy white, I would say. It's not like a stark white. And then I've got Dust Bowl, which is the darker of the stripes here. And the lighter is Vintage Lace. So here's kind of a bigger section here of the El Greco. And then here again, you kind of repeat. Here's the Vintage Lace and I just said it, Paper. And then this is the Dust Bowl, which is almost like a mauve. It's actually, in the skein, I thought it was going to be more brown, which honestly I didn't totally love. So it was a pleasant surprise kind of when you knit up a section of it and you see the little swatch of it. You're like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I think that would be a really beautiful sweater. I really like that color. And again, that's Dust Bowl. And then I did the whole I-cord edge is done in the El Greco. So I wanted the dark to be all the way around. So yeah, it's nice and big. Again, I did the larger size. It's cozy and soft. It's been blocked. I have sewn in the ends. So it is like done, which also is not my normal MO. Usually like there's, you know, little ends sticking out or something like that. Couldn't say anything better about it. I mean, it's awesome. The pattern's written really well. His patterns usually are. Even if you get into like weird parts of, because there's a lot of picking up of stitches going on, as you can see, and picking up as you're knitting. The thing I wanted to show though is he does selvage edges everywhere. I mean, look at how the picking up of them is so easy, first off, but it's so clean. So even the wrong side of this, although you can see where the pickups are and things like that, it's just clean looking, which is nice because with a shawl, you know, as they flip around or whatever, that side shows sometimes. So it's nice to have a uniformed, clean look on that side. So yeah, super excited. I love it. And I was talking to my mom, who I mention a lot on here. Maybe one day I can get her to actually come on here because she is a fellow knitter. She's been doing it a lot longer than I have, but she now wants to knit this, which is often what happens. I'll knit something or she'll knit something and we're like, oh my gosh, I got to do it. So we're kind of trying to plan out her colors, but what was that? Where was I going with that? Oh boy, this is going to be, sorry, I'm going to apologize in advance. My head's all over the place. And like I said, I already did this. So anyway, she's going to do it. We're going to look through some colors and things like that. But she sort of agrees with me with Stephen West patterns too, is they're just so easy to follow. I know sometimes you can look at his work and think, oh my goodness, like that looks super complicated. And maybe not this in particular, but some of his other stuff. And honestly though, the way he writes it, his descriptions, sometimes there's videos that go with, you know, strange things you might have to do. It just flows and it's easy. And there's a reason that he's as good as he is and as popular as he is. So anyway, done with that. Vertices Unite, Stephen West, love it. So let's move on. So that's my only finished object. The next two things I have are partially finished. So they're half. They're both socks and they were both test knits. I'm going to talk about the one that's actually been released, which I believe it was released maybe last week, recently. So this is, and if you're on Instagram, I have a feeling you've probably come across it somewhere if you follow different knit people. This is the High Desert sock. So I have one done and I did it for Theo. So it's a toddler size. Super cute. Let me show you which I don't have with me. So it's Lindsay Fowler. Lost in Fawn, Fawn, is her Instagram name. So you can find her on there. And these are the High Desert sock. It is a marled sock and you hold 2 strands of fingering throughout the whole sock. This main color here, you hold out through the whole entire sock and then you bring in different colors as you're seeing here. So you could potentially do it if you didn't want to marl it. I don't see why you couldn't do it in a sport weight or something like that. If you wanted more solid look to it. I mean, I think that would probably work fine. So at the top here, that dark color you're seeing, that is a MadelineTosh sock yarn in Dr. Zhivago's Sky. And then the light gray here is a Knit Pick Stroll yarn. And that is in Dove Heather. I'm testing myself here, memorization. And then the red there that is marled with the Dove Heather is also Knit Pick Stroll. And that is in the Firecracker Heather, which is a red. So yeah, you can kind of see, I don't have a sock blocker that is small enough for this. But you can kind of see there's some rib going on here throughout the whole top. And then the bottom is just smooth. Theo loves it. He keeps asking me when he's gonna get his next one, so I probably need to get working on that. Here's my color palette of the yarn. So this was leftover. This is the MadelineTosh here. But these two are both 50-gram skeins. The red you hardly use anything of. Even once I'm done with the second toddler sock, I mean, I'm still gonna have leftover here. So this is a great project if you have scraps that you want to use up. Even on the adult size, truly where I have the red here stripe and then the marled with the heel, toe, and cuff, I mean, you could use leftovers easily. The main on an adult, you probably would need a full skein. I know there's tons of sock sets that have one full skein and 2 minis. That would be perfect situation as well for this. And I have seen there are some dyers out there doing kits for this as well. So yeah, so couldn't recommend it more. Super well written, clear. Her patterns are beautiful too. Her aesthetic on them are so pretty. And it is, I should mention, because I think that's important, goes from baby to adult, which is so cool. So you could have a family of socks. So yeah, high desert sock, and I will get the second one done. I kind of have plans for a pair for myself as well, and I'm thinking of doing it in a tweed. So I thought that would be fun too. And I might not marl. We'll see. I might just hold, I'm still gonna hold double, but I'll hold the same color double, and maybe do a more solid version. I think that would be cool too. But really, you can do whatever you want. It's a great pattern, well written, heel flap and gusset, I should say. I'm sure if you wanted to substitute a different heel, it would completely work out, but heel flap and gusset tends to be my favorite. So yeah, that's that. This is a bag that I made, but it was with scraps for fun. I was debating about doing something like this for the shop, but I haven't decided. So that's that. I do have a lot of scraps that I could easily do something like this, but we'll see. It does take a lot of time for me anyway, because I'm fairly new to scrapping stuff like this. So that's high desert. And then the next one is also a test knit. The pattern is not out quite yet, but testing is done. So I'm assuming the pattern will be out soon. And that is, which I think I've shown this in various states of completion, but now I have one done, and that's the Loope sock. And it's a lace stitch through here, partridge heel, this really cute, I love this little detail up here of the braid, Latvian braid, I guess. 2x2 on the cuff. This is done in a fingering yarn. I'll go over my colors here. So the cream, because it definitely is not a stark white. Again, it's more of a cream. That is Knit Pick Stroll as well, and they're bare, so just undyed. The color you're seeing here should look familiar from my Vertices Unite, and that's that MadelineTosh Euro sock in Carbon Dating. And then I used a black Knit Pick Stroll for the other contrast. These are my first colorwork socks. I love them. Pattern's really easy to follow. Once you kind of get going on the lace stitch here, you don't even really need to follow the chart, because you can kind of see what you need to do. So there's that. What else do I want to say? Super cozy. So I kind of had a little bit of, I wasn't sure about colorwork socks because I've never done them before, about being able to feel the floats as you're like walking or on the inside. To be honest, you can't. And if anything, it just adds cushion and warmth. So that's what the inside looks like here. Yes, I know. So there's my, there's all my stuff because I have not done that part. But anyway, those are the floats. I love the way floats look. That's why I like to show them. But you would think you'd be able to feel all that, but you really don't. It, like I said, it just kind of adds a little cushion to them. Yeah, but these should be out soon, and I'll say something for sure on Instagram once the pattern is live. I know a lot of people have been eyeing this. Fiber Tales is her Instagram name, the designer's Instagram name, She also has a podcast, which is lovely. And she has a bunch of other patterns that are really beautiful as well. She just released a sweater that is really cool. So I would highly suggest checking her out and her other patterns. But again, I'll let you know when this one is live. So, yay. So those are my half done. So I had one full done, 2 half done, and then I have a work in progress. Well, I have a lot more than one work in progress, but this is the one I've been working on. And then there's one that I'm going to talk about too that is not a work in progress quite yet, but it's about to be. I just need to wind up the yarn and start it. So this, going back to Lost and Fawn, who was the designer of or Lindsay Fowler, who was the designer of the High Desert sock, when I finished the Vertices Unite, I decided to cast on another shawl, and this one's hers. It's called the Bennet Sisters shawl. I think I'm late to the game here. It's a very popular pattern. You probably have heard of it or at least seen an example somewhere. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Triangle type shawl. Cool thing with this is it takes 2 skeins of fingering and 1 skein of mohair, and you knit half of it. So you start at the edge or the end here, and you knit half with just the fingering, and then you join the mohair with the fingering and knit the other half. So kind of, I think it's going to give a really fun contrast, both in texture and in color, because my mohair is not, well, all mohair. I feel like it mutes the fingering. So anyway, I have casted this on, and I am repurposing yarn from a shawl that I started and decided I didn't like the color combo for. So I actually still have a piece because I haven't ripped it all out yet. This was the Birds of a Feather from Andrea Mowry. And I don't know what side's the right side. I don't think it matters. But so this was, I had more. I think I had 2 other repeats here, but I've pulled that out. But I hate pulling mohair out. So I'm about to just cut the mohair. Anyway, yeah, so this is Adelaide Cottage mohair. And I want to say, I don't know if Breeze is sticking in my head. I don't know if that's the colorway or what she calls the base, because I don't remember what the colorway is. If that's the base name, I don't remember what the colorway is, but it's like a creamy color, but it kind of has little colors of taupe in it too. I'll show you the ball. This here's a single ply from Voolenvine in the I Am No Bird colorway. So anyway, ripping that out, repurposing that yarn, and I'm so glad I did, because I think it's going to really show off the yarn in this pattern. So this is what I have so far. Fun little triangle. If you notice, the edging on this is beautiful. So I really love how finished that all looks on the side. Yeah, so I'm still in the garter section. Another cool thing I like about the pattern is, if you notice, I hope it shows here, there's garter, but there's also stockinette. And I love that because the yarn, I feel like it really shows off the yarn in both stitches. And I think that's cool. So, yep, I Am No Bird. This is how far I am. Stitch marker on there is from Cedar River. She's on Etsy. I love her little stitch markers. It's just a little, I don't know if I can get closer for you or not here, but it's just a little cabin. So, yeah. That's going well. Right now it's really mindless. I think for the most part it's going to continue to be that way, which I really like. That's kind of where my head's at right now with knitting. I'm not trying to do anything complicated. Here's the skeins of yarn here. So again, that's Voolenvine in her single ply, I Am No Bird. Here's her. Oh, I have the band. Okay, and this is the mohair. So you can see, and I hope, like I said, I hope it's not washing everything out right now, but yeah. So it's not quite white. I mean, it's definitely got like a taupe or something like that color to it. So I think it's gonna play really nicely when I hold it double with this. So that's my work in progress. And I had mentioned that there's one that I'm about to cast on as well. So that's a sweater. I've been kind of apprehensive about doing sweaters because I don't super pregnant right now, so I don't really fit. I'm not going to fit into anything, and it kind of worries me that, am I doing the right size? Because I can't really like try it on as I go, because it's not going to be, I don't plan to stay this way for the rest of my life. So yeah, there's that. So, but anyway, I'm going to start one anyway, because I'm going to live on the edge. And it kind of ties in with two things. Let me try and find my, sorry, I had everything organized for the first go round, and then by the second, I'm like, I have stuff everywhere, so I might cut some of this out, sorry. So it kind of ties into some acquisitions too, because that's sort of what I'm going to move on to now. And also talk a little bit about knitting out of my stash, which I am the worst at. So bought this. And this was all due to Stacy of Stress Knits podcast and yarns. I watch her podcast. I follow her on Instagram, and she got me real good with this. She knitted this sweater. It's called the Woodwardia. It's the cover sweater here. It's just really cool. It has this like fern detail on the raglan. It's a worsted weight with a split hem. Love it. Loose. I'm gonna definitely give mine some ease. Here it is on the cover. And this is the spring 2019 Pom Pom. She did a crew neck on it, which I will also do. I don't really wear turtlenecks, and her crew neck looks awesome. So anyway, purchased this magazine. There's a bunch of other really beautiful patterns in here too. So I've kind of been perusing and trying to decide what I want to do, other than just that one. Like, I think this is really cool. I love this pattern too here. That's a nice summer one. Anyway, so yeah, Pom Pom Quarterly. I think their next issue is actually coming out very soon. And that one has some beautiful, the cover sweater, which I don't know the name. I know it's Hohi Locatelli that actually is the designer. It's beautiful. So I'll probably end up getting that one too, but Woodwardia is my plan here. So I went to a fiber festival called SAFF, S-A-F-F, and it's in Asheville, North Carolina. I went probably like 5 or 6 years ago. So that's how long this yarn has been around in my stash. I did have plans to do a farmhouse shawl with it. That never happened. As I was going through, because I'm doing a de-stash right now on Instagram, as I was going through everything, which I think is a really good practice, because you kind of just forget what you have. And it kind of makes you touch everything and remember why you bought it and all of that. So I found this in there, and this is from Green Mountain Spinnery. Make sure I said that right. In a gray colorway. And this is the Maine Organic, I think. Yeah, Maine Organic. So it's undyed. It's just the color of the sheep. It's a bit toothy. It's like, you can feel the lanolin on it. It smells amazingly like wool. So yeah, it's a worsted weight, and that's what I'm going to do this sweater in. So that's my decision. I think they're going to pair beautifully. I hope anyway. So I'm hoping that I have enough. This is cropped. I am going to lengthen it a little bit. Don't like things too cropped. So I know I have enough for the cropped version. We're going to see how it goes as far as lengthening it. And if I have to, of course I'll just get more, but I'm excited to use this. I think it's a good pairing. So we'll see. So that's not really, so this is kind of stash knitting, which is great. It feels good to take that out of the stash and use it. So yeah, that's the Woodwardia plans, and the Pom Pom magazine, like I said, has some really pretty stuff in here. So let's talk about some more acquisitions, and then that's all I really have today. This one was kind of right after Christmas. Excuse me, I have wool in my face. This was right after Christmas. I was sort of pining over everybody that had gotten the Cozy Knitter is the brand here, the dyer. She does a Advent self-striping sock yarn. And it has 24 stripes in it, and every day you knit a stripe. And I was kind of watching all these people on Vlogmas do that, and I didn't realize you have to like buy that in August or whatever. So I kind of got on her site and was poking around, and she had some of these left over, and this is gingerbread house, sorry, and her bliss. So it's a self-striping with a contrast little mini here. Yeah, so this is going to be for Christmas, obviously Christmas themed, but I'm excited about that. I think these will be my Christmas socks next year, and I love a good self-striper, so that is something I got kind of right after the holidays, which is fun. And then this is another thing, so these kind of go together, so I'll show them together. I got this, been wanting this book for ages, and I finally just did it. I don't know why I waited. It's Knits About Winter. So again, this is like late to the game type thing. Emily Foden, I believe, is the designer. She does Viola yarns as well. She's the dyer behind that, but the book is beautiful. The pictures are gorgeous. The patterns are awesome. First things first, I'm gonna knit this hat because that's kind of the one I've had my eye on. Let me see if I can find a... Comes in two options. There's like a taller and a shorter version. I am gonna do the bigger version, or taller, because I like a good brim on my hat. These are kind of mittens that match, which I also is on my list to do. Okay, and then there's some other, I mean, beautiful. I do love those socks too. This is really cool. So anyway, got this book. When I ordered this book, I ordered yarn with it. I ordered this from a shop, I believe, in Denmark, who had just opened. And so they had free shipping going on, because that's the thing when I order from Europe or other places, shipping's so expensive. And this yarn is something I've wanted, but I haven't been able to find here. And it's called Raincloud and Sage. Raincloud. You know why I said snow is we've had flurries all morning, but it's like a weird, sun is out and flurries are happening, so snow's on my mind. Anyway, Raincloud and Sage. And this is a DK weight, woolen spun, 100% merino. So, and then I think that's their gray. It doesn't say a color, but I'm pretty sure this is the gray. So it is a woolly wool. For that hat, you hold 2 skeins of DK together. So that's the plan with this, is to knit that hat. I think it's a perfect pairing. I love the natural color of this wool. So yeah, Raincloud and Sage. So those are plans for a hat. I think that'll knit up super fast, holding 2 skeins of DK together. Other things that I have plans for that I bought, well, this is a kit, so I plan to knit what the kit's actually for, and that's the Millet Mittens, which I've been in my queue forever. Here's the pattern. I loved how the kit, you get the written pattern, which you get a code as well, but I never, well, I can't really show this stuff because it's got all the instructions, but anyway, I never actually buy the printed patterns like this, so that's fun. And I'm doing it obviously in the colors that are in the kit, which is what the original was done in. And this is in Reum Natura. So fingering here. Those are my color palette. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm still deciding if this is black or blue. I do think it's a dark blue. I don't really know. It feels, I don't know. It feels bluish black, whatever. Doesn't matter. I like it. So, and it looks good with the contrast of these colors here. So that's a kit I got. So I'm excited for that. I don't know when I'll do that. That'll probably be next year when it cools off. Or it's a good summer knit too. I do like smaller things like socks and mittens and things like that in the summer because I don't necessarily want to be like draped with wool as I'm knitting it. So that could potentially be a summer project as well. And then a couple other things, and then that's it. This here is, I have full intentions of, this I had to order. It's a funny story about this one. I ordered it from the manufacturer of the yarn first, which is, I'm going to butcher it. So if you feel like correcting my accent, feel free. Reum Natura. I'm not really sure. In their Crino. So it's a bulky. And these are the two colors I got. It feels beautiful and wonderful and luscious. I'm going to be doing a pattern by Bee Mandarins, Madeline of Bee Mandarins. And it's her, not Forester. She did it, it has like a little tree motif on it, and it's done, she has a scarf, I think she has socks that also have the motif, but she did a scarf and cowl pattern. So I'm planning on doing that. These are the colors that she used in the pattern. So I went to the manufacturer's website and ordered them, which they're in France, because it's hard to find this yarn in the US, or at least I found it hard to find. So I ordered it from there. When I ordered it and hit pay, the whole thing like aired out. There was this whole thing. So I went and checked to make sure it didn't hit my account. It didn't. So I ended up ordering it from a different website out of the UK, which is here, which I think is a store there. I'm not positive if they have a store or not, but I think they might. Anyhow, so I ordered it from them. Well, it turns out the other order went through as well. So I had double. Luckily, my mom wanted to knit the same thing. So she bought the duplicate yarn off of me. And we're going to knit it together. So we're both doing the cowl version. I don't see myself wearing, the scarf is very large and wide. I just don't really wear scarves. I find cowls to be a lot easier to deal with and less fumbly and falling off. So I did that. I did order extra one here in green for it, because I wasn't sure if I wanted the tree motif to be in this color or this one. When I got the yarn, I decided that I absolutely want to do this, which is what the pattern was written with. So yeah, so that was the decision of that. But more to this story, because there's more. When I ordered from the manufacturer, that day that yarn came in from them, which is the yarn that I actually gave to my mom, or sold to my mom, I got another package from them, which I thought was bizarre. And I opened it, and my name was on the front, my address, obviously it ended up here, and inside the invoice was to somebody in France. So somehow in shipping things got mixed up. I don't know how. I emailed them right away. I said, hey, I've received an order that is not mine. What would you like me to do with this? You know, where do I ship it back to? You know, all of that. They were like, well, ultimately, because it's international, because it needed to go back to France. They were like, just keep it. So I was like, are you guys sure about that? And they're like, yes, absolutely. Like, sorry for the inconvenience. They were so responsive and awesome about all my order stuff. So I got to keep it, which is super cool. And it's a sweater quantity worth of fingering. And in this amazing Merlot colorway, which is totally something I would have picked for myself. So I have like 11 skeins of this. Just so lucky. I'm so lucky. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's going to be a sweater. I don't want to break up 11 skeins, but yeah, the color is so cool. So it's like this, I hope it's showing and not washing out. I feel like these dark colors wash out sometimes, but it's sort of heather too. So it is like this wine color, but it's got like almost black in it. It's so pretty. Reminds me of like blackberry type color or something. But yeah, that's super cool. So I have 11 skeins of that just by accident, which is really fun. So yeah. That, and then one last thing. I have a couple things, but I'm just going to show you one more or maybe I'll show you two more. This is unfortunate because Fuse Fiber Studio, she's been dyeing, I think about 3 years or so. I bought the first of her yarn I got at Vogue Knitting Live when I went with my mom a couple years ago. It's beautiful. I love it. I think I have a sweater's quantity of some fingering of hers. She just posted the other day that she's going to stop dyeing, which is really unfortunate, but you know, life changes, so I get it. So she had a sale. I don't know if she has anything left, but I snatched up a couple things. So I got this here, which is 100% Merino, superwash Merino, and it's her Merino sock. It's called Mercury Glass. So it's a gray base, obviously. I think you can see that. And it has brown and black. It's kind of speckling through it very lightly. I don't think there's a ton of it. You can kind of pick it up on some of the sections here. And then I got her single ply in this gorgeous color of amber. So this is kind of it together here. I plan to add black. I have a black skein of yarn as well. And I'm going to do, I think, the Novelli tee from Boylan Knitworks. Don't knit a ton of tees, although I don't know why, because I hate sleeves, so it's like the perfect thing for me. I think I just don't really know when to wear them. Because if it's hot out, I don't know. I usually don't want wool like that. I don't know. But I'm going to try it. I love this tee, so I want to do that. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to add black. So that's my plan with these. Like I said, it's unfortunate. She's not going to be dyeing anymore. And again, I don't know if there's anything left in her shop or not. I'm sure you could probably find stuff on D-Stash, on Ravelry, but I don't really know. So sorry to show you something that you can't really get. But yeah, so I got that. Last thing I'll show you is Ottoman Indigo. Posted this, you know, I don't know, this was totally like an impulse thing, so I totally don't need another sock set. But this is called Gray October. So you can see you get a gray mini here, a solid gray mini, and then this is just beautiful. Like her speckling is, this is not usually my color. I'm gonna be honest, online, at least on my screen, this did not look blue. This all looked gray. But now that, as you can see, and I'm assuming it's showing properly, I mean, it is blue. There is definitely blue and lavenders. It didn't quite look like that on my computer screen. Usually not my color palette, but I know I'm going to be using it for socks, and it's beautiful. It's nothing against, you know, like, it is beautiful. And again, like her speckling and stuff is so pretty. But anyway, yeah, so Gray October, Ottoman Indigo. So that's fun. That was a super impulse, because I totally don't need more sock sets, but whatever. Got me good. Yeah, so that's really all I have. I hope this recorded. We're going to see. I'll look. I can't actually see myself or my screen when I'm doing this. So, you know, it's a shot in the dark. See how it goes. Any news with the shop or anything? Yes. So I'm kind of letting my inventory just empty. I'm due end of March. So not that far off really with the baby. And I do plan to close the shop, and I won't be podcasting for a little bit. I'm going to take maternity leave from work and all of that as well. So I'm going to really try and get one more podcast in before baby comes. I'm making no promises. Things are getting just harder for me in general right now. And with the shop in particular, sewing is not the easiest for me right now with just space and bending over and cutting fabric and all of that's been really difficult. Knitting's a lot easier for me right now. But yeah, so, you know, once I come back, I am gonna reopen the shop, of course. I have new fabrics I've bought, actually, so there's gonna be some new colors coming when that does happen. I don't even know if I should tease and say anything now because it's gonna be a little while, but that is gonna happen when I come back. But yeah, so thank you if you lasted this long. It was super rambly today. Hopefully I have enough done or some progress made when I've started my new sweater and all of that, and I'll be able to podcast again one more time before baby. If not, I'm sorry, but it's life and that's just how it is. So thank you. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to stay in contact, and I appreciate it. And bye.